Hey everyone! So today's topic is about getting strong postpartum. If you're new to the group, I'm Devin. I am the admin and creator of the group. I'm a yoga teacher. I've been teaching for about 15 years now. I'm a wife and I'm a mom. I have an almost 4-year-old and an almost 1-year-old. And this is the time I always go live on Wednesdays because it's when they're asleep. My daughter is going to be 4 in 3 days, and my little guy is going to be 1 in 8 days. So busy times over here. We're having their birthday party. It's a joint birthday party with their friends on Saturday, and then Sunday we're going to celebrate with my family, and then next Sunday we're going to celebrate with my husband's family. So it's the party time of the year for our household, for the kids anyways. Let me know if you are joining me live or on the replay. I'd love to know when you guys can join. If it's when your kids are in bed or maybe you're nap trapped or anything like that. As I'm chit-chatting today, if anything resonates for you, you can let me know in the comments by dropping your favorite emoji or just letting me know in general. Or if you have any questions that come up, please don't hesitate to ask in the comments. Or if you don't want to be asking in the comments, you want to ask me privately, just send me a DM. I love to chit chat with you guys and help you out in whatever ways that I can. I can guarantee if you have a question, don't feel shy about it. Don't feel like it's not a good question. If you have a question, other people are probably having the same question, so don't feel shy about it. All right, so let's start off with my journey about getting strong postpartum, and then I'll share some tips with you. So generally, for everyone, postpartum is such a tough time. It's like such an adjustment because you're finding your new normal with your body, with a new person in your family, and with your relationships, with your partner or your friends and family and everything. And on top of all of that, your hormones are trying to rebound to pre-pregnancy levels, and it's just a crazy time. You might be healing from a traumatic birth experience. Even if you're not, your baby might be giving you a run for your money, and it's just such a vulnerable time. We as women in general tend to, we don't tend to put ourselves first, and we tend to tough it out. You know, we kind of minimize our challenges and tribulations and stuff, and that's a patriarchy thing, or it's just ingrained, but makes us pretty tough. But we need to prioritize ourselves so that we can feel good and have joy and not be vulnerable and pissed off all the time, right? So for me, each time, so I've had 3 postpartum experiences in my life, and each time has been totally different. After my first situation, that if you've followed along for a while, that was a loss. It was at 29 weeks. So I had a total labor, delivery, recovery, and physically that recovery was super fast. I didn't even look like I had a baby or anything like a day after. And I felt like I was able to get back to all of my pre-pregnancy yoga and flexibility training and strength training, like fairly quickly. Like, you know, I waited until I was told I was able to, and physically it was pretty easy, which is lucky because, as you can imagine, mentally it was not. And yeah, so that was physically a blessing, because, you know, if I was dealing with some kind of really horrible physical pain on top of the emotional pain, it would have been really tough. And then with my daughter, I healed pretty quickly. Each pregnancy, the labor and delivery were not too bad. Hers was probably the worst, and by worst I mean I think I had like 2 stitches, and it, like, I didn't feel too much pain after. You know, I took the Tylenol and the ibuprofen that they told me to take, but yeah, it wasn't bad. I can't really complain. And I felt like I didn't feel as strong right away as I did with after my first pregnancy. I definitely didn't prioritize that because I had a little one to take care of and figure out what the heck I was doing, and also feeling really scared about everything because, you know, I had the trauma of the first pregnancy, and probably most people with their the first baby they have in their arms feel very similar. So when things started to calm down a little bit, even though I was like cleared pretty early on, you know, I tried to get some movement in here and there with her when she was doing like her tummy time and stuff like that. But I felt like she slept so horribly, and like I was holding her all the time. She was in the wrap. I was baby wearing all the time, bouncing on the ball all the time. So I wasn't able to get back to my practice as soon as I would have liked to. And but once I did, I felt pretty strong right away. And then with Felix, that was super easy delivery, recovery, everything. Like I felt completely fine, like immediately, which was amazing. I wish that for everyone. And so as soon as they let me, you know, get back to my practice, I did. So I wanted to get back to it right away. It was, again, difficult, but I felt like because I had already raised a little one into being a 3-year-old, that I kind of knew what was going on. I wasn't freaking out over everything. So I was able to chill a little bit more. You know, there's still things that would upset you or anyone. But yeah, I felt like I was able to chill a little bit more. So I was able to get back to my practice a little bit sooner, but I felt way weaker. So it's probably because, you know, it was my 3rd baby in like 5 years or something, not 4 years. So yeah, it's a lot on your body. So even if it's your first, it's a lot on your body. I don't know if any of you have ever seen that statistic, but it's comparing like the energy output of pregnancy to like a marathon. And yeah, it's like, I think it's something like, forgive me if I'm wrong, if you know the study, but it's like you're running a marathon for 9 months. And, you know, you're not huffing and puffing like crazy until the end, but it's the energy output that your body uses to create your baby. It's the same as a marathon. So instead of however long a marathon takes, it's 9 months of that. So it's a lot on the body, and you obviously have to recover. And, like celebrities or social media or the traditional media in general makes you think that you need to bounce back right away. And that's a saying I wish we could just throw away forever, because we're not bouncing back. We are moving on. We're moving on from our pregnancies, and we are growing and evolving. We're not trying to go back to anything. Our bodies have changed, and that's not to say you can't ever achieve the goals you want to achieve, but your body is never going to be what it was pre-pregnancy. It could be better, but it's never going to be the same. So no bouncing back, moving forward. And yeah, so it puts a lot of pressure on us, and there's so many people who are always like, oh, I have this mom pooch, or I've seen people use the word like apron belly, and like these terms are so like degrading to me. And I'm like, you've been through a lot. You have your whole life to be able to get back to whatever you want to get back to. Like for me, I'm starting to train my deep back bends again, and flexibility in general. And it's like, I'm not going to get there overnight. I'm not going to be able to do a chin stand like I was before. I'm not going to be able to try to get my butt to my head like I was trying to before right now. But I have my whole life to try and get there. So that leads us to the topic, getting strong postpartum. So getting strong postpartum, first of all, is not something you want to do immediately. Like I said, there's that pressure. A lot of people have it in their heads like, I need to fit into my pre-pregnancy clothes right away. I need to look a certain way. I need to have like a hot girl summer right away. I need to have like the thinnest waist ever. It's like they're trying to prove something. And these goals and this pressure that people put on themselves can lead to injury. So a lot of people start trying to get to that point before they're cleared. They're like, oh, I'm just going to do a little bit of this and that. I feel okay. And it's a lot harder to stop yourself when you are feeling okay. But it's so important to listen to your medical professional who has been supervising you, and for them to clear you and be like, yeah, go ahead. You know what? You are ready. And when they do, then you can move on to it. And the reason being is that you think you feel great, but then you could make yourself hemorrhage. It's a huge, like, plate size wound that has left your body because the baby came out, the placenta came out, and yeah, that can lead to bad things if you're rushing it. So the first cardinal rule is to be very gentle on yourself. So, if you want to start lifting weights, start with really, really light weights. And, you don't have to have like the craziest biceps ever, like 2 months after giving birth. For me, a main motivator for getting strong postpartum is to be able to hold my kids. So I'm flexible. I've always been flexible. My body holds on to flexibility. My body does not hold on to strength. So yeah, being able to hold them for as long as I want to is a main motivator. And yeah, you might often hear me saying, if you're in my life, my arm's gonna fall off because I'm holding one of the kids so long, mostly Felix, but sometimes Izzy wants to be held too. Yeah, so that's my main motivator, is to be able to carry my kids, not because I want some certain aesthetic. My second motivator is my flexibility training, because you have to have strength to have flexibility in a safe range of motion, right? So first rule is to start lighter than you think you need to, and to not push yourself. So if you're like, oh yeah, I can start light, but I'm gonna do like 1,000,000 reps, don't do that either. Be really gentle on yourself, and notice how like your breath is reacting, how your heart rate's reacting, and all of that. Notice if you're still bleeding, if anything changes in that regard, and if so, maybe back off a little bit. You definitely don't want to hemorrhage. And then you also want to be able to fuel yourself properly. So especially if you're breastfeeding as well. So many people try to start losing weight like crazy, even though they're breastfeeding, and that can really affect your supply. So you want to be able to fuel yourself properly. So, keep yourself super hydrated and use electrolytes, and incorporate protein into your life, like a good source of protein, whatever that looks like for you. If you're vegetarian or vegan or not, you could use powders, you could up the protein packed foods that you eat, and that's going to also help you to get stronger. When you are strength training, you may notice that you get sore, and that's a good thing, but it also kind of sucks. So that's why protein is also super important, because it helps with that soreness. Another thing you can do if you have soreness when you're training is like little massages of yourself, to get that lactic acid that's built up moving throughout your body, and hopefully the soreness doesn't last too long. If your legs are sore, a really nice one to do is legs up the wall, and super relaxing, good for your blood pressure and whatnot. Yeah, so you want to start light, you want to have your protein, and find a good workout that you really like to do. So for strength training, it could be yoga, it could be other things. You could find videos on, you could find programs, you could find videos, you could go to a gym, but try to make sure you're doing it correctly. There's, you see the way people do it, and then you try it, but you're not necessarily doing it correctly. So a really good example is, years ago, I worked at a gym, and they have the bicep curl machine. So that machine is like there's like a thing right here that your chest leans against. You put your arms over it, and there's like this thing that you go like this, and you can make the weights different settings. And I was doing it for quite a long time before anyone told me I was doing it wrong. So I hyperextend, because like I mentioned before, I'm very, very, very flexible. I'm hypermobile, and my joints bend backwards. So when I was doing it, I was trying not to go to straight arms, because I didn't want my elbows to hyperextend, but because I wasn't fully extending my arms, I wasn't getting the full benefit of the machine. And yeah, it was literally years before a personal trainer came up to me and they're like, let's try it this way. And I was like, no, I can't do it that way. My elbows bend backwards. And he was like, okay, then you put it on like a lower weight. And I was like, oh, which seems so obvious, but it wasn't to me. So yeah, that's a really prime example. You could be thinking you're doing something correctly for forever, but turns out you're not. So you want to really make sure you're doing the movement, that you are training correctly. Otherwise, you're not getting the full benefit. So that's light to start, fuel yourself correctly, and make sure you're doing the movement correctly. Those are my three main important steps for you to get strong postpartum. And it doesn't matter where in your body you are, that's like the three main things for your whole body. So if you have specific areas, a lot of people want to get their core stronger, which is obvious because that's where you had the most trauma, because your baby was growing there and everything stretched out there, and things might feel a lot weaker. I know it did for me at first. And things might look different in a way that may bother you. But yeah, just try to remember that you have your whole life to reach the goals you want to reach. You don't have to kill yourself when you are in your most vulnerable chapter of your life to look a certain way, because I guarantee your baby loves you regardless, and you could show them what a healthy way of exercising is instead of, trying to do it in an unhealthy way. So with all of that said, let's recap. You are talking about getting strong postpartum. You want to, first of all, make sure you're cleared to exercise. You don't want to hemorrhage or create some complication for yourself that you don't need. Nobody needs that when you have a newborn. So make sure you are cleared. And then if you are, go lighter than you think and not too many reps. Start small and work your way up from there. You don't have to start huge and give yourself setbacks. Baby steps. And then fuel yourself properly. Don't think like, oh, I need to be in a calorie deficit, so I'm like not going to eat like breakfast or something. Like, fuel yourself properly. There's two most important reasons for that is if you are breastfeeding, you want to keep your supply up, and eat, whether you're breastfeeding or not, you want to be able to heal from your exercise. You don't want to be sore forever and your body not have enough of the building blocks to get strong. And then make sure you're doing every movement that you choose to do properly so that you are being efficient about your exercise. So with that being said, I do have a postpartum program that I am creating. So if you're watching this and you've watched to the end, you can get a discount on it. It is, there's 12 classes there that's going to be in it, and videos. And there's also meditations and breathing work to help you through things that come up postpartum. And so if you're interested in that, you can comment postpartum and we can chat about that. It's usually $197, but as I said, if you watch till the end and you are interested, I can give you a discount, and it is a lifetime thing. It's not like, oh, you have this for like, 6 months or something. Yeah, it's lifetime. So if you ever want to get back to this chapter in your life, you can revisit. Yeah, so if yoga is the thing you want to do to get strong, my classes are going to help you do it properly. So you're not just trying to emulate the moves and doing something that is not efficient to getting to where you want to be. Yeah, and I also want to let you guys know that, kind of going hand in hand with this, at the end of the month, I'm going to be doing a free workshop again, and I'm going to have a food nutrition lady joining me. We're gonna do a collaboration, and she's gonna be talking more about the nutrition portion of all of this and help you guys figure out how to have the best nutrition you can in this chapter of your life. So if you have any questions about that, feel free to ask me. Otherwise, keep your eyes peeled for that. That's going to be a lot of fun. If you have any questions in general about what I was chatting about, please feel free to ask either in the comments, or if you don't want to ask there and you want to ask privately, just DM me and let's chit chat about it. I want to help you guys feel as strong as you want to feel in this chapter of your life and get to all the goals that you want. All right, I hope that was helpful, and I hope you guys get as strong as you want to be postpartum. Have a wonderful night, and I will see you next week. Check out the poll, vote for whatever you want this class to be about, and I will film that live for you. All right, take care. Bye for now.